Welcome back, everyone. Triple Play is on deck, so here are the picks that we're looking at. I'm starting us off with my pick, which is Inspira Technologies, ticker symbol IINN. Now, the stock jumped over 71%, as you can see, just over 72% right now. And this is over new developments with its non-invasive Hyla blood sensor. Now, this gives real-time continuous blood monitoring to alert doctors about a patient's condition, so they're getting that information in real time. This is less invasive, which means it's reducing risks, complications, and costs for patients. And they could also disrupt the $2.5 billion point-of-care blood testing market. Now, interestingly, it's actually being developed by a team of cyber warfare specialists who used to work for the Israeli Defense Forces Elite Cyber Attack Division. Now, this could alleviate some of the concerns that we tend to see around medical tech, and especially when it comes to data privacy. But curb your enthusiasm, because this hasn't been used or tested in humans yet or received any sort of regulatory approval. But the stock is still a far cry from its 52-week high. That was about $9.59. And even with today's pop, the stock is still down more than 40% year to date.
I'll tell you what, Larry David could not be reached for comment. I want to go to the Wi-Fi Interactive because I'm going to tell you why biotech scares me. And we're just talking about this chart here, not making any comments about the company. Here, this is pretty nice to see, up 64% over 2 days. But here's a max chart. And we'll go back to the beginning of time here. Wow, biotech, we got some binary options on FDA decisions, and that is par for the course. Well, my stock of the day is Peloton. And well, they're offering a one-time cash bonus. They're also changing the term of its stock compensation plan. And that's according to its chief people officer, Shari Eaton, in an interview today. Now, employee morale is suffering as the stock is down 70%. That's only this year, and it's down 95% from its all-time high. That was at $171. And you can imagine the paper losses employees are suffering on their stock-based compensation. So when their Q3 earnings dropped in May, Peloton warned of weak revenue in Q4, and cash burn is still a really big issue that they deal with. And hey, there's an inventory glut at Peloton as well. Their new CEO, Barry McCarthy, trying to work through that and pointing toward positive free cash flow in fiscal 2023. Emily.
Well, Jared, what I think is interesting about this story is Peloton, of course, isn't the only tech growthy stock that has really seen a share price plummet so far for the year to date. So it does make you really wonder whether there are going to be these other tech companies, these other growth companies that may be offering something similar in order to boost employee morale. Definitely is some food for thought here as we continue to watch many of the share prices come under pressure. But the stock that I'm watching this afternoon is Rivian. Now, Rivian shares are climbing after the company's new production data suggested it's on track to hit a target of producing 25,000 units this year. Now, Rivian said in a filing it built 4,401 vehicles in the second quarter. That increased markedly compared to the 2,553 EVs Rivian produced in the first quarter. Now, it also delivered 4,467 vehicles in Q2. And Rivian's CEO said in a Twitter post that supply chain and production are ramping for the company, which currently builds three models. So those include the R1T pickups and the R1S SUV, along with delivery vans for Amazon. But guys, this is good news for Rivian, also good news for its backers like Amazon and Ford. Rivian shares are still down, we should note, by more than 70% for the year to date. But it does appear that at least some of these parts and supply chain shortages that had impacted the company since its public listing last November are maybe starting to ease.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rochelle, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Rivian really had first mover advantage here, becoming that first to deliver the all-electric pickup truck, beating Tesla. Couldn't really capitalize on it, not really making use of the 150,000 vehicles that the Illinois factory can make, only rolling out about 25,000 expected this year. But they are actually having one advantage here. They're snapping up some of the laid-off workers from Tesla, so perhaps some of that expertise might translate, and perhaps that might give Rivian a boost. Jared?
Oh, I was just going to comment on the chart here in the Wi-Fi Interactive. Up 15% over 3 days, but we just need a little bit of context here. Looking at the max chart, still down 70% from its near IPO high.
That's definitely one to watch.